It was just another gray evening in the city. People rushed past, umbrellas colliding, footsteps echoing on wet pavement. And then, it happened. Emma Turner, 24, a college student carrying too many books, bumped into a man at the corner of 5th Street. The impact sent her papers flying across the ground. She looked up, ready to apologize, until she saw him. Tall, sharply dressed, with eyes so piercing they froze her in place. He didn't look like a stranger. He looked like someone who knew her. The man didn't smile. He simply bent down, picked up one of her papers and said in a low voice, "Emma, you shouldn't be here." Her chest tightened. She had never met this man before. How did he know her name? Before she could answer, he slipped something between the pages of her notebook and disappeared into the crowd, swallowed by the city. Heart racing, Emma flipped open her notebook. Inside was a folded piece of paper with just 5 words. "They are watching. Don't run." Her hands trembled. The street around her suddenly felt different. Too many faces, too many eyes, as if every passerby was observing her. And then, her phone buzzed. An unknown number. A message appeared. "If you want the truth, come alone. Midnight, Pier 12. Emma's breath caught in her throat. She looked up, scanning the street, but the man was gone, and for the first time in her life, she felt like her entire world had just tilted off its axis. Cliffhanger. Should Emma go to the pier, or ignore the message and risk never knowing why a stranger seemed to know her deepest secret? Emma couldn't stop replaying the encounter in her mind. The stranger's voice, the note, the text message. By 11:45 p.m., she found herself walking toward the pier. Her pulse pounded with every step, the city's neon lights fading behind her as the docks grew darker and quieter. She kept asking herself, "Am I insane for doing this?" The air smelled of salt and rust. Wooden boards creaked under her weight. At the far end of Pier 12, a single figure stood, half hidden in the shadows. It was him, the stranger. "You came," he said, his tone unreadable. Emma forced herself to sound brave. "Who are you, and how do you know my name?" The man stepped closer, his face still veiled by darkness. "There's no time for questions. What matters is—" He stopped mid-sentence, scanning the pier. His voice dropped to a whisper. "They found us." Before Emma could react, headlights flared from the parking lot. 2 black SUVs pulled up, engines growling, doors slamming. Men in dark coats stepped out, moving fast, their footsteps pounding against the wood. The stranger grabbed Emma's hand. "If you want to live, you have to trust me." Emma's mind screamed to pull away, to run, but her feet stayed frozen. One of the men shouted, "There she is! Don't let her escape!" Emma's heart nearly stopped. They weren't after him. They were after her. The stranger pulled her toward the edge of the pier. The waves below crashed violently in the dark. He looked at her, eyes burning with urgency. "Jump, now!" Cliffhanger. Will Emma risk everything and leap into the unknown, or stay and face whoever is hunting her? Emma's chest heaved. The stranger's grip was firm, his eyes commanding one last time. "Jump, Emma!" And before she could second guess, they plunged together into the freezing water. The shock of the ocean stole her breath. Waves dragged her under, darkness swallowing every sound. Strong hands pulled her upward until they resurfaced, gasping. They swam to a ladder on a smaller dock hidden beneath the pier. Dripping, trembling, Emma collapsed against the wood. What is happening to me?" she demanded, her voice cracking. The stranger crouched beside her. "There isn't much time. They know what you are." Emma froze. "What I am? I'm just a student." He shook his head. "No, you've been lied to your whole life. Your parents weren't who they said they were. And the people chasing you tonight, they've been waiting for this moment." Emma's blood turned cold. "You're insane. I don't believe you." But then he pulled something from his soaked jacket. A small silver locket. "This belonged to your mother. She wanted me to give it to you. when the time came. Emma's fingers trembled as she opened it. Inside was a faded photograph of her as a baby, cradled in the arms of the very same stranger sitting before her now. Her eyes widened in horror. You were there. How is that possible? You haven't aged a day. The stranger's gaze hardened. Because, Emma, I'm not like them, and neither are you. Suddenly, gunfire echoed from above the pier. Men shouted, beams of flashlights slicing through the darkness, closing in. The stranger seized her arm. If they catch you, it's over. You must choose right now, trust me or surrender to them. Emma's heart pounded louder than the waves. Cliffhanger. Will Emma run into the unknown with the man who claims to know her past, or give herself up to the hunters closing in? Emma's lungs burned as she followed the stranger into the maze of abandoned warehouses near the docks. Gunshots echoed in the distance, but for now, they were safe. She yanked her arm free. Enough! You expect me to just follow you blindly? Tell me who you are. Tell me why they want me. The man's face was stern, yet haunted. My name is Marcus. I swore to protect you from the moment you were born. But your parents, your real parents, made enemies more dangerous than you can imagine. Emma's voice cracked. My parents died in a car accident when I was little. Don't twist that into some conspiracy. Marcus shook his head slowly. They didn't die in an accident, Emma. They were hunted. And the same people who killed them are after you now. Her knees weakened. You're lying. Marcus reached into his coat and handed her a folded file, soaked at the edges. She hesitated before opening it, only to find black and white surveillance photos. A woman who looked exactly like Emma, standing beside Marcus. The timestamp read 1999. Her hands shook. This is impossible. That's me, but I wasn't even born yet. Marcus stepped closer, his voice a whisper. You were never meant to live an ordinary life. Your bloodline carries something they want, something they will kill to possess. Before Emma could respond, the sound of engines roared outside the warehouse. Dozens of footsteps closed in. Marcus's eyes hardened. They've found us, and if they take you tonight, the truth will never see the light of day. Emma's heart hammered, fear and disbelief colliding. What truth? What are you not telling me? Marcus leaned in, his voice trembling for the first time. You're not just their target, you're their key. Cliffhanger. What hidden power lies within Emma's blood, and why is she the key to something worth killing for? Emma's mind raced. Her bloodline carries something. The key? What could be so important that it would cost lives? Marcus led her deeper into the maze of warehouses, past rusted shipping containers and broken machinery. We don't have much time, he said, eyes scanning every shadow. They have allies everywhere. People we don't even know are watching. Emma's hands shook. Watching? How long have they known about me? Since before you were born, Marcus replied grimly. They've built an entire network to control what we call the legacy. And you're the only one left who can unlock it. Emma swallowed, fear turning into anger. Why me? Why was I left alone all these years? Marcus's expression softened, almost mournful. Your parents hid you. They tried to protect you. But the network never stopped hunting. Until tonight, you've lived in their blind spot. But luck only lasts so long. From the darkness came a low hum. Emma froze. A drone hovered near the warehouse ceiling, light scanning the floor. They've adapted faster than we thought, Marcus said. They know we're here. A sudden crash echoed. The entrance door splintered. Figures in black tactical gear stormed inside. Emma felt her breath catch. Marcus grabbed her hand. Listen carefully. You have a choice. You can fight your way out, or I can take you to someone who will explain everything about the legacy. Emma hesitated, her heart hammering. Fight? Escape? Trust a stranger whose face haunts my dreams. The black-suited figures advanced, weapons raised, shadows stretching long over the concrete floor. Marcus pulled a small device from his coat. This is the only way, but once we do this, there's no turning back. Cliffhanger. Will Emma trust Marcus and step into the hidden world of the legacy, or be captured and lose the truth forever? Marcus pressed a hidden button on the device, and a section of the warehouse floor slid open. A staircase spiraled down into darkness. "Come," he urged. "This is the only place you'll be safe, and where the truth begins." Emma hesitated, fear and curiosity battling inside her. But the sound of approaching footsteps left her no choice. She followed him down. The staircase opened into a hidden chamber, glowing with holographic screens displaying maps, faces, and symbols Emma didn't understand. "What is all this?" she whispered. Marcus turned to her. "This is the heart of the legacy, a secret network that has influenced governments, corporations, and entire cities for decades, and it all centers around our bloodline." Emma's head spun. "Our bloodline? How is that possible?" Marcus placed a hand on her shoulder. "You carry an ability that can unlock or destroy the legacy. Your parents knew its power. That's why they hid you." Emma shook her head in disbelief. "I'm just me. I'm not superhuman." Marcus's expression softened, almost sad. "Not superhuman. Rare. And deadly in the wrong hands." Suddenly, alarms blared. Red lights flashed. "They've traced the signal. They know we're here," Marcus shouted. The chamber doors slammed shut. Holographic panels flashed urgent warnings. Emma felt a cold dread. So, it's true. They want me dead. Or worse. Marcus grabbed her hand, pulling her toward a hidden exit. "You need to make a choice now, Emma. Either we disappear from the world and train you to control the legacy, or we fight them here and risk everything." Emma's breath caught. Every instinct screamed to flee, but she also felt the weight of destiny pressing down. Cliffhanger. Will Emma embrace the legacy and her hidden power, or will she face the hunters unprepared, risking her life and the future of everything Marcus is protecting? Emma's hands trembled as she stared at the holographic displays. Faces, locations, plans, all connected to her in ways she couldn't yet understand. Marcus's voice broke through the storm of fear in her mind. "This is it, Emma. Tonight you choose. Legacy or death." A deafening crash shook the chamber. The black-suited hunters had breached the outer layer. They were close, faster than anyone could anticipate. Emma swallowed, heart hammering. "And if I refuse? If I just run?" Marcus shook his head grimly. "They will never stop. And every life tied to the legacy will be in danger. You can't run from this. Only control it." A strange warmth coursed through Emma's veins. The locket her mother gave her glowed faintly. Memories, feelings, whispers of power she didn't understand surged inside her. The hunters stormed in. Gunfire ricocheted. Marcus pulled Emma behind a console, dodging bullets. "Now, Emma!" he shouted. Instinct took over. Emma raised her hands, and a pulse of energy shot through the chamber. Screens shattered. Weapons jammed. The hunters froze, eyes wide in disbelief. Marcus stared at her, stunned. You're controlling it! You are the legacy!" Emma felt a terrifying mix of exhilaration and dread. Power she never knew she had was coursing through her, but with it came a choice, a responsibility she couldn't ignore. The hunters regrouped, ready to strike again. Emma's eyes locked with Marcus's. "Together?" she asked. Marcus nodded. "Together." Emma stepped forward, embracing the power. Waves of energy radiated from her, knocking back the hunters, shaking the entire warehouse. For a moment, time seemed to freeze. Emma understood now. This was her destiny. Not to hide, but to take control, to decide the fate of the legacy and everyone connected to it. As the dust settled, Emma's gaze fell on the city skyline. The world was vast, dangerous, but for the first time, she felt ready. Final cliffhanger. Somewhere in the shadows, A new figure watches. A whisper cuts through the night. She's only the beginning. The screen fades to black. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It means a lot for my effort.